Good evening, Zimbabwe. This is Change Radio News. Today is Wednesday, 8 October 2025. The news is read by Rutendo Chinzara. Here are the news headlines. Mutodi removal signals growing threat to Dissent and parliamentary independence. Gwanda solar project a case of corruption and government failure. Doctor slams government over cancer machine delay. And now for the news in detail. The removal of ZANU-PF MP Energy Mutodi as chairperson of Parliament's Budget Committee has sparked outrage and renewed concerns about the erosion of parliamentary independence. His dismissal came shortly after he accused Finance Ministry Permanent Secretary Gwanda of demanding kickbacks, claims he later retracted. Critics say the move undermines parliamentary oversight. Citizen spokesperson Mr. Promise Mukwananzi warned that it signals a government unwilling to tolerate scrutiny, paving the way for zero accountability. Mutodi's ouster is being seen as a warning to lawmakers that speaking out comes at a cost. The development raises serious concerns about transparency as Zimbabwe continues to grapple with corruption and economic instability. Change Radio spoke with Mr. Mpandasekwa, who had this to say.
The unlawful removal of Honorable Energy Mutodi as chairperson of the Portfolio Secretary for Budget and Finance is an indicator of the regime's unwillingness to be accountable and to be answerable, and to go at lengths to protect its looters and cronies, such as George Gwanda.
Meanwhile, former Finance Minister Tendai Biti has condemned the removal, calling it an unconstitutional. Biti says Mutodi was right to raise corruption concerns about Finance Secretary George Gwanda and that Parliament is being silenced for doing its oversight job. He warns that the action threatens constitutional democracy and reflects a deeper agenda to suppress scrutiny and entrench power. The long-delayed Gwanda solar project remains abandoned nearly a decade after it was launched. The $172 million project was meant to solve power shortage in Matabeleland South, but the site is now just overgrown bush. Criticism is mounting against the contractor businessman Bulawayo, who received millions in public funds but failed to deliver. Despite a court ruling, the contract is still valid. Citizens say the site is just a symbol of corruption and government failure. Human rights doctors are condemning the government over delays in using sugar tax money to buy cancer equipment. The Zimbabwe Association of Doctors for Human Rights says despite over $30 million being collected from the tax since 2024, none of it has been given to the Health Ministry to procure the machines. The group says the delay prolongs the suffering of cancer patients and undermines the purpose of the tax, which was to improve public health. Zimbabwe has one of the highest cancer rates in Southern Africa, with nearly 12,000 deaths recorded annually. The doctors are demanding that the Ministry of Finance urgently disperse the funds so the Health Ministry can begin the procurement process. A public health crisis is brewing in Harare's Glen suburb. An investigation has found more than 30 families have built their homes directly on top of burst sewer pipes in an area known as Riverside. Raw sewage is flowing freely, creating a severe risk of cholera, especially with the rainy season approaching. Children are seen playing near the contaminated water. Residents say they were sold the land by unscrupulous barons for up to $3,000 after being told the area was safe. The Constitutional Court has reserved judgment in a case where HSTV is challenging laws it says criminalize live news reporting. The broadcaster argues Section 164 of the Criminal Code violates media freedom, citing the arrest of journalists during a live broadcast. A ruling will be delivered in due course. Harare's Mayor Jacob Mafume is calling for a cooperation between the government and opposition-run councils to fix the city's infrastructure. His comments follow a joint tour of the Morton Jeffrey water treatment plant. Mafume says issues like health, roads and water affect everyone, regardless of political party. Let's hear Mayor Mafume talking.
We make no apology for working with central government. When the electorate elected us, it was well aware that a result might come where the city will be held by another party and central government will be held by another party. And we were not elected to simply oppose the government for the sake of it. We were elected to work together with the government to deliver to the people. They understand that as we campaign as separate parties, we all promised that we will help the people of Zimbabwe. And that is what we are doing. We are in agreement that sewage smells as bad to a ZANU-PF person as to an opposition person. Water tastes as good to a ZANU-PF person as to a non-ZANU-PF person. A road does not ask for your party card before it damages your car. So it must be clear that we have a basic fundamental desire in our different capacities to give service delivery to the people that is seamless, that is standard, and that is to the best international practice.
The National Railways of Zimbabwe is joining a regional safety campaign to combat vandalism and protect communities. The week-long initiative under the theme Safe Railways, Safe Communities, Everyone's Duty will target hotspots in the eastern, Midlands and southern regions. The campaign aims to educate the public on the dangers of trespassing on railway lanes and vandalizing infrastructure. Bulawayo residents are strongly rejecting a city council proposal to recycle water from the decommissioned Khami dam. The dam was taken out of service in 1988 due to severe pollution from years of sewage discharge. The Zimbabwe National Army has announced the passing of Brigadier General retired Victor Mpandasekwa. He died on Tuesday at a local health facility in Harare. And in news from local communities, Bulawayo councillors are blaming a sharp rise in youth drug abuse on the city's failure to provide jobs and empowerment programs. They say the implementation of projects like the allocation of thousands of vending bays has been critically delayed, leaving young people without opportunities. The council is now pushing for a special meeting to address the stalled development funds. In entertainment news, international reggae star Christopher Martin and Busy Signal are in Zimbabwe ahead of their performance at the Kadoma Music Festival on 11 October 2025. The two artists are no strangers to the local stage, having performed in Zimbabwe at various concerts over the past few years. In international news, South Africa's Home Affairs Minister Dr. L.A. Sheriba has issued 2 new immigration directives affecting Zimbabwean and Lesotho exemption permit holders. Directive 21 of 2025 extends the validity of Zimbabwean exemption permits ZEPs to 28 May 2027. ZEP holders will also get an 18-month grace period after 28 November 2028. During this time, they are protected from arrest or deportation and may travel or apply for other visas without needing to show a valid exemption. And finally, in sports news, Warrior star Khami has called for focus and unity as the team prepares to face South Africa in a vital World Cup qualifier tomorrow. Speaking in Durban, Billiard said the squad's chemistry is good and stressed the need to trust each other and follow the coach's instructions. The match kicks off tomorrow 6 p.m. at the Moses Mabhida Stadium. This marks Billiard's return to the national team after missing the last round of fixtures. To end the news bulletin, here are the headlines once again. Mutodi removal signals growing threat to dissent and parliamentary independence. Gwanda solar project, a case of corruption and government failure. Doctor slams government over cancer machine delay. And that concludes our bulletin for today. We thank you for listening. From myself, Rutendo Chinzara, and the entire team at Change Radio, we wish you a good night.